Hello, hello, everybody. I'm Jamy Schumacher, and I am a womb spiral practitioner and co-facilitator in the Temple of Armella. And today I am here with Isadora, and um, I am excited to be talking with you about the magic that you bring to the womb spiral, to this work. It is inspiring and deeply moving every time I get to receive your magic. So first of all, I would love for you just to introduce yourself and share a little bit about what you're passionate about, what lights you up.
Well, hi, Jamy. It's so good to be with you. And yeah, hello, everyone. My name is Isadora Spearwoman, and I am a womb spiral practitioner as well as a birth and postpartum doula. I also work in the realm of herbs and Ayurveda. And ultimately, my passion is all things womb and womb health and womb awakening. And so I bring a lot of that earth medicine, herb medicine, and also just focus on the power and potency and magic of the womb space, and especially of our cycles and of our intuitive, feminine, sensual nature.
Yes, and it really is magical. I know in this last round we got to experience, tastes of your magic with some of your shares and teachings on our cycles. And the other piece that really was impactful for me was the connection to water and water blessings and the things that you've been doing with that. Would you care to share at all about some of that transmission? Because I think it's so powerful right now in connection to womb work and women on this planet.
Absolutely. Yeah. The connection between the wombs and the waters is like, there's such a profound link there. And I think sometimes we don't see that or talk about it. But, of course, our bodies are comprised mostly of water. And especially as women, traditionally, we are the water bearers. We are the carriers of water. Our babies are housed in water in our wombs for 9 months. Women traditionally were the ones and are the ones still to fetch the water, tend to the waters. And this summer, just a very profound remembrance happened within me of to heal the womb, we have to heal the water, and to heal the water, we have to heal the womb. And the water is the feminine essence. There's something so flowy and fluid and powerful about it. There's not an element more powerful on earth than water. And at the same time, it flows and it's fluid. So there's this delicious connection between the womb and water. And so I love bringing that transmission, reminding people to be watery, to let the waters flow, to let your amrita flow, to let your tears flow, and also to bring a sacredness and a reverence to our bodies as earth and to the earth body. And so that's something I'm very passionate about, and it connects with the cycles and with the seasons and with just honoring the elements within us. And Ayurveda also talks a lot about the elements and bringing, things into balance through opposites and through elements. And so I feel like our world can be very fire, very yang energy. And so a big part of what I bring to all of this is the water, is like, how do we actually become the water keepers again? And I just love the power and the soft tenderness of water and how that connects to our wombs and our sense of ourselves as women as well. We have the fierce and we have the super tender and soft and all of the things.
Yeah, I think that that's something so tangibly felt in the way that you come into spaces. You have this nurturing softness that feels so it's so safe to be witnessed in. It's like when I think about all of the different flavors that we have in womb spiral practitioners, so many of us bringing kind of different energy to the work. And when I feel into the way that you hold women is so nurturing, and it feels like a return to that deep connection of sisterhood. It's like when we are witnessed and loved and held by other women, the magic and the transformation that can happen is miraculous. It's like, it's a complete, I guess it's interesting to call it miraculous, maybe miraculous in the way we're doing things now, but actually truly a return to our nature and the way that, it's almost like the way we were built to be and to move with each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was one other piece that I was curious about, because I think that a lot of women are relatively out of touch with our cycles. We forget that we are cyclical beings, and we kind of override that part of our nature. And so I would love if you would share just a summary of what it means to honor your cycle and to come back into awareness of that part of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, cyclical, it's like it's a consciousness, and we are cyclical. There's no doubt about it. Every week we sort of embody a different phase in our cycle if we're menstruating. But even if we're not menstruating, we're always shifting with the seasons, with the moon, with the light of the day and the dark of the night. And especially for those who bleed, we have all these phases, all of these archetypes, all of these energies moving constantly through us. And when we're in tune with them, then we're in tune with life in a way. We're in tune with our natural rhythm. And so we know when it's time to shine and when it's time to be out and to share and to give. And we know when it's time to come in and retrieve. We know when it's time to let go. We know when it's time to start something new. And so we're living on nature's time in a natural way. And the opposite of that is living in a state of force and like basically pushing ourselves, which is what a lot of women do. I see that in a lot of my clients, and in this world it's a lot. It's a lot to be able to take a day off when you're bleeding and to actually implement some of the wisdom of the cycles. But with the awareness comes the ability to prepare and the ability to greet and meet yourself in a new way. And I think being in touch with your cycle is so liberating, because it takes all this pressure that we've put on ourselves off of us of having to be the same person week to week or day to day. And there's just such a beauty and potency in connecting with your cyclical nature, because it just connects you right back to nature, right back to who you are. And as women, we get to literally die every month and be reborn. We get to shed and cleanse and rise. And there's just nothing more powerful than that in my perspective. And so a lot of the work I do with people is reattuning them to their own cycle. And also it's unique to everyone. So it's really about coming into harmony with your own cycle, your own nature, and your own inner world. There's so much going on inside of us, physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically.
Right.
Just to know it is such a gift.
Yeah. I think too, the way that you present this information for me actually really helped me to tune back into the beauty of it all. It was like coming from this kind of conditioned frustration with the cycles of my body and kind of learning that it's a problem versus really allowing myself to experience and honor the beauty and the gift that it is to be able to move through these cycles with my body and to honor, this physical vessel as I would the earth. It's like we are the micro and the macro, it's like yeah, being able to come back into deep union with my own body as earth and finding the beauty in that has been such a gift, because I've heard cycle information over and over and over again. You know, it's like, I'm aware, I know the words, but there's something that lands so differently in the way that you embody and gift that information to your clients. So I just want to recognize the power in that in you as well. Is there anything else that you would like to share? You know, it's kind of a hard question to answer, but it's almost like, who are you calling in? Who are the women that you would love to be holding through this womb spiral process? You know, it's like, we know that there are millions of women out there and they're all looking for something different, but what are the women that you want to work with looking for?
I love that question. Yeah, like I definitely see a theme throughout of the women that I attract. I think the women I love to work with they're just ready to come home. That's the best way of saying it. These women, they're just so ready to meet themselves as the divine, to really truly meet themselves as God, as the goddess, as the sacred. They're really ready to let go of conditioning and mental programming around what it is to be a woman.
Yeah.
They're very open and eager to awaken their sexual, vital life force energy. And yeah, there's a longing in them to know the depths of themselves. And yeah, I love working with women who come to awaken to their own greatness, and really just I feel I can hold them in a very clear, soft container. I'm not necessarily the practitioner to push and to like force you to do things.
Right.
I like to bring the divine mother aspect of unconditional love, and just reflect to people their own beauty. And definitely, you said beauty a few times. That's definitely part of my transmission, is the beauty way of embodying beauty. And so the clients I attract are very much, yeah, they're just aligned with nature, with the beauty way, and they're curious about what's underneath all of the layers, and really ready. They're just so ready to love and accept themselves. Like, finally, fully
Right.
just, I love myself no matter what, and I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. Yeah.
Can you imagine a world where all women held that frequency? You know, this just love for themselves and an honoring of their own, divine essence would.
Yeah.
I mean,
can. It's
that's
happening.
the world that I'm holding point for.
It's here. I always say I'm so done with the feminine is rising. I'm like, no, she has risen.
She is, right?
She's here.
She's here.
She doesn't rise anymore. She's here. So it's just, stepping into that.
Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your magic and for carrying this important work in the world. I'm so grateful to walk alongside you in this temple and in this work.
Same.
Yeah, it's amazing. So the next thing that I would love to talk to you about is the Temple of Armella. We are opening the doors for the next round of women to come in. I know, and it's like, I think we needed a little bit of time to kind of decompress from that last round, because it was so like heart opening. It like just cracked me open anyway to new layers, which always amazes me. It's like every time it takes me deeper and it takes me to new awareness within myself. But as we're opening the doors for the new round of women, I would love to hear from you what your biggest takeaway was from this last round in the Temple of Armella that we just closed.
This was a big round for me. It was a really, really big round. I think my biggest takeaway had to do with what happens when women gather.
Yeah.
Like the amount of cleansing and letting go and remembering that can happen when a group of women are supporting each other for that long of time
Yeah.
and just in a really, really powerful container. Yeah, just all the magic. I mean, I witness, and this is what I also witness in womb spiral. It's like people are literally different humans on the other side.
Right?
They're
I
more
know.
themselves. There's just like this like all these layers get thrown off, and I think I really learned that that happens in groups,
Yeah.
in solid container.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I completely agree. It amazes me every time how deeply we go as a group. You know, it's like new women coming together, and there's always kind of this period of getting to know each other. And then it's like once we drop in, the transformation that happens, the love that happens. And like you kind of said earlier, it's like this reflection that we get to see of ourselves and the other women in the container is life changing. Like it literally changes the way that you understand yourself to be. Yeah, it was so beautiful to connect so deeply with such an amazing, like a powerful group of women. You know, it's like when I personally think of every woman in this container, it's like each one of them individually is such a powerful force of nature. And then to get to come into communion with all of them, all of us at the same time on an extended journey is transformational in a massive way. What would you, I can feel the question, but it's a little like what would you say to women that are curious about the Temple of Armella, as far as what they can expect, or what it can, what can it provide for the women that are maybe seeing the message or hearing talks of Temple of Armella? It's like, what is the Temple of Armella to you?
Beautiful. Yeah, well, if anyone's feeling the call or kind of curious, I would definitely invite them to reach out to one of the mentors or facilitators to just get the feel and talk through things. Because I think if there's an interest in something, that means there's some opening there. There's like the soul is shining through, like, hey, go in this direction, this direction. So I would definitely follow that call. The Temple of Armella is, I see it, I mean, it is a temple. We've landed it on earth. It's a beautiful, sacred, contained space where women come to be transformed in miraculous ways through connecting with the womb, sisterhood. We have a lot of different calls, transmissions. Of course, we're journeying through the womb gates. You're held in a container for a long time. There's accountability, there's sisterhood, there's connection, there's a lot of room for growth and asking questions. But ultimately, yeah, I see it as you come in and you leave, you come in one person, you leave a different person. And it is really for people who are wanting to connect with their womb, wanting to connect with their feminine essence, but also integrate that with their masculine and just really fully step in and be whole people in the world. It's not for everyone. It's definitely for people that are wanting to transform, wanting to look at what maybe needs to be changed in their life and really open their body and their heart and their mind to their own sacredness, their own beauty, and also to see that reflected in sisters around them. And just, it's so magical. And we're in it. We're in the container while we're all in it together. And it'll work you. It'll transform your life for the better.
Absolutely. I love that you mentioned the masculine too, because I think that
Yeah.
a lot of feminine spaces or a lot of womb work
Mhm.
doesn't touch on that. You know, it's like
Mhm.
this cultivation of the feminine without also acknowledging that balance with our own inner masculine as well. And I know when I first came into womb spiral, you know, it was very focused on the feminine, but recognizing after the fact is that it's such a whole and integrated way to heal, and that it also matured and integrated more deeply my masculine as well. So I love that you brought that into this, you know, this conversation, is that it is a focus on the feminine and the womb work, but in doing so, we are laterally healing the masculine within us as well, and really creating more space for divine union between the two. So
Yeah, and it's, you know, coming into greater wholeness within
yeah,
ourselves so
yeah,
that we're in the world in a whole and centered way. And also, I mean, there's so much to say, but yeah, a big piece around lineage, healing our lineage as well, and preparing our wombs if we do want to birth
yeah,
children to
yeah,
birth in a whole way. It's really about wholeness. It's,
yep,
you know, it is, the feminine has been so degraded that we do need to focus a lot on revitalizing the
hmm
feminine.
hmm
And of course, it's wholeness. It's like bringing it all into balance and harmony within. And we do a lot of really practical things as well, like
yes,
business strategy and different movement practices, and there's a very physical, tangible transmission, as well as, of course, the etheric and connecting to the emotions. And
yeah,
it just feels like a very balanced space. Like we really cover the fullness of,
absolutely,
of it all. Yeah.
absolutely,
Mhm.
awesome. Is there any other words or thoughts that you would like to bring into this space before we finish up our chat today?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, just the feminine is here, and she's really asking us to honor our own divinity and sacredness. And that's the intention for me to join this and be a part of it, is to continue empowering and uplifting the womb, uplifting the voices of women. And yeah, I just see us as this beautiful almost army of light, or army of womb bearers, just in the world, you
Yeah,
know, shining, shining, shining. And
love it.
yeah, if you feel the call, answer it, I would say. There's no time like the present. I mean,
Right.
it's what we got to be doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, it was beautiful as always to connect with you and chat with you.
Mhm.
And we will share links to your work and all of your, you know, connection points with all of these videos as well.
Thank you.
Awesome.